This is a bonus post to explain the differences between capitalism and corporate dominism, as I have seen a lot of confusion. Corporate dominism. Many people hear the term capitalism and think it's the same as the influence of big corporations, but they are fundamentally different concepts. Understanding these differences is essential to grasping the challenges we face as a nation. What is capitalism? At its core, capitalism is an economic system that promotes free markets, competition, and private ownership. It allows entrepreneurs and individuals to innovate, create wealth, and pursue opportunities with minimal interference. Think of it as a system that rewards risk-taking and ingenuity. When a new business succeeds, it benefits not only its owners, but often the broader economy through jobs, innovation, and services. What is corporate dominism? In contrast, corporate dominism is an economic model where the leading corporations in every industry have united, either overtly or in nuanced ways, to consolidate power and control all facets of power, wealth, knowledge, and economic prosperity in the country. It's like a corporate cartel that extends its influence into government, legal systems, healthcare, housing, and even food supply. Here are three examples and contrasts. 1. Government bailouts. During crises like the 2008 financial meltdown, we saw major banks and corporations receiving billions in bailouts, often with little accountability. Meanwhile, average citizens faced foreclosure and unemployment. The government's support for too big to fail institutions indicates a system that prioritizes corporate stability over individual well-being. 2. Tax policies. Large corporations often benefit from tax breaks, loopholes, and subsidies that are unavailable to small businesses or individuals. At the same time, taxes on low-income earners are increased or remain high, widening economic inequality. 3. Legal favoritism. Large corporations frequently enjoy legal advantages, including voluntary recall systems that allow them to avoid accountability or legal protections that shield them from liability even when their products cause harm. Let me tell you about Maria, a single mother from Ohio who lost her health insurance after her employer's insurance plans were bought out by a giant corporation that cut benefits to save costs. She struggles to afford expensive medication, leading to worsening health outcomes. Her story isn't unique. It's a symptom of a system where corporate interests often overshadow individual needs. Then there's James, a small farmer in Iowa who can't compete with agricultural giants that dominate the market, controlling seed supplies, fertilizers, and distribution channels. His family farm is shrinking, and his community faces food insecurity. Here are the impacts on healthcare costs and outcomes. Corporate dominism in healthcare has driven prices sky high. The United States spends more on healthcare than any other nation, yet health outcomes lag behind peer countries. Hospitals are often owned by large corporations prioritizing profit, leading to unnecessary procedures and inflated prices. For example, in some cities, patients face bills of tens of thousands of dollars for procedures that could be affordable elsewhere. Many Americans face medical bankruptcy, which is a direct consequence of a system controlled by corporate interests rather than patient-centered care. Let me explain how it has taken over the government. Corporate influence on politics is well documented. Through campaign donations, lobbying, and revolving door employment, corporations shape legislation to favor their interests. The Citizens United decision, for instance, allowed unlimited corporate spending on elections, drowning out the voices of ordinary citizens. As a result, policies tend to favor corporate profits over public welfare, whether it's weakening environmental regulations or blocking higher minimum wages. Let's consider the housing crisis. Corporate dominism has contributed to the current housing crisis. Large real estate investment firms buy up affordable homes, turning them into rental properties and driving up prices. Young families find it nearly impossible to buy a home, fueling a cycle of financial insecurity and homelessness. This corporate-driven speculation has transformed housing from a basic human need into a profit-making commodity. What about food deserts and nutritional insecurity? In many urban and rural areas, large food corporations dominate the supply chain, leading to the proliferation of convenience stores with unhealthy options and a lack of fresh produce. Communities of color and low-income neighborhoods often face food deserts, areas lacking access to affordable, nutritious food, deepening health disparities and nutritional insecurity. Can you honestly determine if corporate dominism is killing the American dream? Let's dive in. All these factors, sky-high healthcare costs, housing unaffordability, food insecurity, and diminished political agency, are eroding the very foundation of the American dream. The promise of opportunity, upward mobility, and economic security is slipping away for many Americans, replaced by a landscape where corporate interests prioritize profits over people. We should be reaching some conclusions. Here are mine. While capitalism is an economic system and encourages innovation and opportunity, corporate dominism consolidates power in the hands of a few, undermining competition, fairness, and the well-being of ordinary citizens. It's a system that benefits the few at the expense of the many, and it's time we recognize it for what it is. Understanding this distinction is the first step toward advocating for policies that restore balance, strengthening small businesses, ensuring fair healthcare, protecting our homes, and reclaiming our democracy from corporate influence. Join the moment. Take the first step to restore America. Demand the Minimum Quality of Life Act become law.